So the New York Knicks have signed Landry Shamet to a one-year deal. The financial terms have not been disclosed. Landry Shamet will take up the 15th and last guaranteed spot on the Knicks. The Knicks do have two unguaranteed spots left available. This is an interesting signing. Shamet, 27 years old, average 7.1 points a game, 1.3 rebounds, 1.2 assists in 46 games, 5 starts last year for the Washington Wizards. This is a guy over the course of his career with the Washington Wizards, the Phoenix Suns, the Brooklyn Nets, the Clippers, as well as the Philadelphia 76ers, average around 8.7 points on 40.8% shooting, 38.4% from 3 for 4.9 attempts a game. His average 84% at the stripe, along 1.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists, zero point 0.5 steals, and 0.2 blocks. Now, when you look at Shamet's game, he's just a decent guy, solid guy. I see him a few flash plays. He had a nice little baseline dunk with the Clippers, I believe. I want to say, was it the playoff year he had? And just to go over some of even his playoff numbers, to be fair, to the guy, the man over his playoff career with the Clippers, 2 seasons with the Clippers in the playoffs, one with Brooklyn, one with Phoenix. He's averaged around 5 points off of 39.4% shooting from the field, 35.7% from 3, 81% or 82 around percent from the stripe, 1.7 rebounds, 1.1 assist, 0.5 steals. The guy, I mean, he's a solid kind of plug and play guard. Some interesting tidbits, there have been things going around on Twitter where some people have pointed out one, the so-called, they're calling us now the Phoenix Knicks, which I'm not really sure, just because it'll be Mcbride Bridges, Cameron Payne, Keita Diop, and now Landry Shamet all on the Knicks. Some other interesting things. There's a really scary stat that I saw on Twitter when this deal came out, and that is the fact that Landry Shamet has some interesting, I don't know if it's a curse effects, I don't know what you'll call it, but they call it the Landry curse, where every team that starts the season with Landry Shamet gets eliminated in the second round in Game 7. In 2019, the Sixers lost in 7 games to the Raptors. 2020, the Clippers lost to the Nuggets in 7 games. 2021, the Nets lost to the Bucks in 7 games. And then 2022, the Suns lost to the Mavericks in 7 games. Granted, he played with the Wizards last year. The Wizards not going anywhere, so hopefully that curse ends. I mean, we've had a few curses. Obviously, Tom Thibodeau coaching curse, all that stuff. So hopefully some of these curses end. But the bigger picture to me with Landry Shamet coming to the Knicks, it's not that he's going to get a lot of playing time. We know Tom Thibodeau doesn't have these expansive lineups where he's playing 10, 12, 11 guys, 13. That's not his game. There is something coming up on the horizon now. Everybody knows the Knicks need a backup center. That's not news to really anybody. Everybody knows the Knicks need a backup center. Looking at Walker Kessler, Nick Richards. You got Jonas. You got freaking Robert Williams coming up in trade rumors or discussions. Other guys, Vucevic, in terms of trade options. But everybody knows that we need a backup center. And there's just no way that the Knicks are going into this season with that not in mind for a trade most likely to happen. Think about this. The Knicks are sure. This is the most depth the Knicks have had in years. But Tom Thibodeau has not given any indication he's changing up. He's not going to change the defense. He's going to play his man as help defense. He's not changing the offense for the most part. He's going to add little wrinkles here and there, but he has his players to fit what he wants to do. That means that somebody's getting traded. Now, if you look at the guys who are being signed, Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, it's a lot of redundancies in terms of. I'll take it back. It's not necessarily redundancies, but a lot of these guys aren't wild guys, per se. You're not getting another Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting guys who you could look at and say, all right, he's going to be truly a game changer. They kind of come in and going to plug and play and do things here and there. Operate the ball in their hands, be able to push the ball, move the ball around, shoot a little bit, make the smart, heady plays. And to me, when we talk about backup centers, like, Robert Williams, for instance, make up $12.7 million, you have to trade about 4 guys pre-Landry Shamet deal, right? You would have had to trade 4 guys, right? And that's going to be interesting to see exactly what's going to be put into Landry Shamet's deal to see how it's, in terms of its value and how it's going to. Because I'm looking at it, look, you have to trade 4 guys to get a Robert Williams contract, $12.7 million. You have to trade off Pressure True, making $6+ million. Jericho Sims, Cameron Payne, Keita Diop, right? And that was before Landry Shamet. But I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe the Knicks don't want to give up a first round pick. I mean, if you get around with the protectors that the Washington Wizards and Detroit have, maybe, but they maybe not want to give up a premium first round pick, even if it's in the future. And they might be saying, hey, we'll give you a player. And when you look at the players that we've acquired, Cameron Payne and Landry Shamet, those aren't guys that you sit up there and say, yeah, I'll give you a Robert Williams who could possibly change the tide, when healthy, of your playoff run. They're going to want Miles McBride. Miles McBride has shot up this past season, especially with his outside shooting. And I don't care what no one says. Granted, he's not the greatest of creators, but you're not going to sit up here and say you wouldn't want a 3-and-D player, despite his stature. He's 6'1", but sometimes plays a little bit bigger than that. They say 6'2". He's really 6'1". Player who this past season averaged 8.3 points, 1.5 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 45% from the field, 41% from three. There's no way you're going to sit up there and say you don't want that player on your team when you have other guys like Cameron Payne and Shamet. That's no disrespect to those guys. NBA talent is NBA talent. But still, you're talking about guys making $3.9 million, I believe, this season coming up. Cheap contract. And he's controllable through 2026, 27. I'm sorry, he's making $4.7 million this year. He's controllable through 2026, 27. He has a cascading or descending contract. There's no way that he's not going to be coming up. Now, granted, they said earlier this season that he was not on the trade block that they really like. But you're going to say that. You're not going to lower his value by saying, yeah, we're looking to trade him and move him off. He's a valuable piece of 3-and-D guy. He's my son. I caught him back in the drive. Y'all already know that's my guy. But it is what it is. When you make championship level runs, sometimes the guys that you love, the guys that you want to be here, the guys that you built up, sometimes you have to make those painful decisions. We did with R.J. Barrett. And Miles McBride seems to be the next guy up because there's just no way in hell that Cameron Payne and Shamet are your so-called you're bringing them here and there's not going to be some type of trade involved. It sucks. It sucks, but it's looking more and more like Miles McBride is going to be out of New York because we need that backup center. Again, Robert Williams is drawing a lot of attraction from the Celtics again, which is interesting, given the fact they traded him off initially for to get Drew Holiday, but he was a very valuable defender for them. Walker Kessler, as cheap as he is, we know Danny Ainge is a GM that operates in the trenches, and he is not going to just give up anybody on the roster, even if it's the freaking cook or the concession stands. He's not trading nobody unless he's getting something in value, and he comes out ahead, right? So, to me, man, again, Landry Shamet, solid player. He's a solid depth piece. Cameron Payne, solid depth piece. But there's a reason also why they drafted guys like Kolek. Gave him, I think, the highest guaranteed amount for a second rounder. Is it Knick history or NBA history? I can't remember. I know I want to say it's definitely Knick history. But it's just no way. Something's fishy, man. It's seeming like they have to match some value. They don't want to give 30 billion players to get said player. If you could give up Miles McBride, Pressure Achua, Pressure's making 6+, Miles McBride's making around 4.7. That's close to 11 million. And again, because the Knicks are over the first apron, you have to match. It has to be 100% of the money going out. 100%. It's tied to the money coming in. Because over that first apron, so you can make a trade work with Miles McBride, Pressure Achua. Again, I'm not sure if the Knicks are going to re-sign Pressure Achua. It doesn't seem like it. And add another small little bit player to that. Maybe put some cheap second rounders to that. Another team comes out and says, "Hey, we have a 3-and-D player, Miles McBride, who's a stopper, who's what." What's your man from the Kings name? The guy from Oregon. Not from Oregon, excuse me, from Baylor. That everybody, well, even I thought he was going to be decent on the Kings roster. Who is your man's name? Why am I drawing a blank on the son's name from Baylor? Kings roster, Baylor guard. Davion Mitchell. Wow, my brain is mush. But anyway, that's what Miles McBride offers you. He offers you essentially what everybody thought Davion Mitchell was going to be. But we'll see, man. But this trade, I mean, this acquisition, some seems fishy about this, bro. Some seems fishy, and Miles McBride might be the next guy to go just because of the circumstances. But guys, let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts. Please leave your comments at the end of this at the end of the video. I appreciate you guys. Also, make sure to visit UnderdogFantasy.com, where you can use the code word Legion LOK to get matched up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Again, Legion LOK to get matched with $1,000 on your first deposit. You also play streaks, where if you hit on the first 2 parlay bets, if you hit the next 9, you can win up to $1,000 times the money you put in this NFL season, man. Y'all already know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do tomorrow against the Titans. What are we doing here? Y'all already know my son, Garrett Wilson, is going to eat. Bet on Garrett Wilson at 5.5 or 6 touches. 5.5 right now. So go ahead and play on underdogfantasy.com and stop playing with your life, man. Legion allocated to get matched to $1,000 when you first deposit. But it's your boy Gmo, Legion Knicks. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, Lou. God bless. We out.